This is a continuation of my Ireland trip. This is the day after the Belfast Northern Ireland Comic Con. I took some time off and we went around and checked out Belfast. So, follow me around Belfast, Northern Ireland. When you exit the Titanic Hotel, you get a great view of the Titanic Museum right across the street. Here's a little sign walking into the Titanic Quarter, and yes, it is called the Titanic Quarter there in Belfast. They pay a lot of homage to their past as shipbuilders. You can see some of the different hulls and ships that were built here. None of these were anywhere near the size of the Titanic, but that was a big ocean liner. These, not so much. You can see these boats are dry docked. This one you could actually, on the other side, go over and check it out and look all around on the inside of this boat. Here, as it says, we're in the Belfast Harbor Marina. Lots and lots of boats out here. A lot of artwork on the way over to Belfast proper. A lot of it pays homage to the shipbuilding. The stained glass, of course, was Game of Thrones. I like this. Rest your wee legs. Different types of buoys. Here is a picture of the Titanic Museum from the other side of the harbor. Crossing over this bridge, still even more artwork everywhere. The whole place was adorned with artwork. Belfast is very pedestrian friendly. There's plenty of roads for vehicles, but there's also lots and lots of pedestrian lanes with lots of shopping around that. Even though it's very overcast, they're very festive. You can see with all their decorations, and there's tons and tons of old architecture. In fact, I think this building burned and they rebuilt it. Here's the Opera House. There's just so many cool things to see here in Belfast that it's hard to see it all in one day. We took a couple of days. Look at this. This is just, you don't see these kind of things around the U.S. too much. I guess we're just not old enough. But these buildings are just amazing with their architecture. And after a long day of looking at all these beautiful, beautiful buildings, you got to stop and get a drink. And they have no shortage of pubs in Belfast. It's very, very true. This is one of my favorite, this liquor store. Look at this, floor to ceiling, all kinds of Irish whiskey. And Irish whiskey, is mostly rye. They don't have a lot of the sweet, bourbons like we have over here in the U.S., but they did have a lot of Irish whiskey, a lot of Scotch, a lot of really, really old liquor up in here. And this guy was doing quite a bit of business, as you can see, everybody crowding around in here. And yes, we did buy a bottle of Irish rye whiskey to bring home, and I've been drinking on it ever since we got back. And if it's a nice day out and you don't want to sit in the pub, that's fine. They have the party bike. Everybody participates. Made a trip to this mall because they have a 360-degree observatory above the whole city. You can see Samson and Hercules there in the back, the two big yellow cranes they use to lift the big ships. But there's also all kinds of other historic little buildings I'm going to show you here that they place signs around the edges so you can stand there and look out into the distance and find them over the landscape. It was really cool. It was kind of rainy and overcast, but you could still make out most of those buildings. It was really awesome. At the time we were in Belfast, it was right after the Queen had died, and her funeral was going to be on Monday. This is the Belfast courthouse. You walk in there, they had a little display of people dropping flowers. Now, keep in mind, Northern Ireland is not a big fan of the Queen, but, she was on the throne for 75 plus years. So you could go in and sign the book of condolence for her right there in the middle of the courthouse. And, of course, I did that. I went in, and you can check and see my name. Here's the beautiful courthouse, big dome. Spin around, and you will see me right there signing the book of condolence. It was Sunday, so we decided to check out St. George's Market, and man, am I glad we did. They had all kinds of artisans and food vendors in there, especially this one, the Belfast Bop Company. This thing is just an amazing... I saw a few people getting one made, and let me just show you the line of people waiting to get this, and they're making it right there in front of everybody. They were telling people in line, no, it's going to be 45 minutes to an hour, maybe more. Nobody flinched. Nobody left the line. They just, everybody knew this was something good. They're the only ones that had a line this big, and here is the finished product, and my God, it was worth the wait. While I ate my bop over in the seating area, I noticed they had crepes. So the best dessert you can ever get is a really good crepe, and we decided, hey, let's try this now. And you'll see there's chorizo signs everywhere. Being from New Mexico, I noticed that because chorizo is basically just a spicy Mexican type of sausage. Obviously, they like that over in Belfast, too. Who knew? But anyway, this strawberry whipped cream banana crepe was an amazing dessert, and whew, I was so full. After all that food, I had to walk around before I lapsed into a food coma, so I got to see a lot of amazing murals. That's one thing Belfast, it's like every flat surface of a building had some kind of really cool mural. Even back by the dumpsters, they decorated everything. It's just it's amazing how many murals were all over. They don't have KFC, they have BFC, which stands for Belfast Fried Chicken. That's right. They have an American candy store. Over here, we just call those candy stores. And I just had to show you this candy because, damn. Whenever I'm in another country and I run across a comic book store or pop culture type store, got to check it out. Forbidden Planet here in Belfast. Was very surprised. Great store. Couple different floors. Last stop of the day was Belfast Castle. If you go to Belfast, this is a little out of the way. It's not anywhere near downtown. Definitely worth the trip, though. It's a very beautiful castle. I guess they hold a lot of events there. Lots and lots of rooms. It was just every time you turn around, there was another room, but they were all so beautifully appointed. It was this is the just in case this is the bathroom. This is how the bathroom looks. Look at that. So I won't show you the toilets, but yeah, they were just as good. Looking out here on the garden, it's just a spectacular view of Belfast, plus of the castle and the grounds. It was just a great location. This castle, I'm not sure how old it was, but it's used a lot, like I said, for events. Here we got the spires, a lot of the newer windows. There's another shot of the fountain, and you can see the mosaic tiles down there. The beautiful, beautiful stone spiral staircase coming out of the patio, the balconies, I guess you would call them. Here's a shot from the garden area. They had a definite cat theme going on throughout the castle, as you saw in that mosaic. And you'll see there's other little cat statues. There's the mosaic again. There's cat statues all through the grounds. This one needed a little repair. I'm not sure why they let it go so bad. This beautifully manicured garden. There were a lot of tourist visitors here, so and the weather was kind of overcast. I was surprised there were that many people out. It was raining off and on during the day. You can see there's still some standing water in places on the ground. This you could go in, I believe 99% of the rooms. I only found one room that was really kind of off limits, and it's a self-guided tour, so it's not like you're being followed around by a tour guide telling you where you can and can't go. It's self-guided. You just walk around and check out everything. Like I told you, the cat theme, there is another one of the cat statues. They were all throughout. This was the tower coming up the driveway. We decided it's an extensive grounds. We decided to walk around and check them out until we turned around and realized how far we'd gotten away from the castle. So we started to walk back. Now, just like any good tour, you exit through the gift shop. This is no different. If you look right here, they have the little tavern this way. You go downstairs, check it out. And since we had been walking around Belfast all day long, we were a little hungry, a little thirsty. So we got us some tea and some crumpets here in the Castle Tavern. Definitely got to check that out when you leave. I hope you enjoyed my quick and dirty tour of Belfast. We went there the day after Northern Ireland Comic Con. Got a good feel for the city. It's a beautiful city, lots of old architecture. Loved the castle, loved all the other downtown walking areas, lots of markets, St. George Market. Gotta check that out and get you a Belfast BAP if you're there. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe down below. It don't cost you nothing, and it helps us out tremendously. And it helps us to bring videos like this to you guys for free. So until you see that next video, later, nerds.